Welcome back to this course. So in our previous video we have seen that how we send emails to user, the basically forgot emails, forgot password emails. Okay, so now in this video, first of all, we are going to create a new EJS file in views directory with the name let's say it new password, that contains all the fields that help us to reset the password. Okay, so in here, first of all, I just copy this partials and then the header and then footer. Then I go back to my Sublime and simply I go here and just grab it, markup right here, Control X, and I simply paste that here and format the document. Okay, so this basically contains two password fields, password and confirm password. Okay, and you can see that it sends the post request to /reset/ that giant token. Okay, and also I have to set this partial messages like that. Simply save it, go back to my users.ejs, and now let's create a route, get route for that. So I simply type here the get route, router.get, we have to get /reset/ that token. So I type here token, then a callback request and response. Okay, so in it, first of all, I have to find a user with that token. Okay, we have to make sure that our user has the same token from which he has sent the email. Okay, so I simply type here user.find1, and we simply type here the reset password token is equal to, make sure that it is same as in the params dot token. Okay, so we know that we have passed the token in the URL. We check from the parameters that that token must be same as in the database. We find that user with that token. Okay, so that we can update the password for that token specifically. Okay, and after that we have to make sure that the link is not expired. Okay, so for that I simply type here reset password expires and make sure that it should be greater than date dot now and like that. Okay, so we simply just ask here that find the user by the token that is in the URL. Okay, and also make sure that the reset password is greater than the time dot now. Okay, so we, in this case, we check that. For example, user sent the request at 7 a.m. Okay, so the password expiry time should be 7:30 a.m. Okay, so make sure that the 7:30 current date is not greater than 7:30. Now it returns a promise, so I simply type here dot then we find the user, and what we are going to do here, we are simply going to first of all check that if that user exists or not. If that does not exist, then we simply type here request dot flash, and it should be error message, and I type here password reset token is invalid or has been expired, like that, and res dot redirect to /forgot. Okay, we simply pass the message that password reset token is invalid or expired if this condition is not true, if the user does not exist. Okay, otherwise we have to, if it exists, then we have to basically render the new template, new password template. So I simply type here res dot render, I pass here new password EJS, and I pass along with it a token is request dot params dot token. Okay, and after that we have to type here dot catch error, and I simply type here request dot flash the error message, and I say that error should be this one, and res dot redirect to slash forgot, like this. Okay, so let's save it, this route, which is get route, and this is the post request basically. So when the user click on that link, that should match with this reset slash token. Okay, first of all we find the user with that token. We know that we have saved that token in the database for that user, and we check that the password token should be same in the parameters, and also we check that the expiry time should not be greater than date.now. And after that we simply apply a if condition here, check that if the user does not exist, then we have to basically display a message that password reset token is invalid or has been expired. Okay, and after that we have also, and if user exists, then we simply render our template, which is a new password template with this token that we have just generated. That is basically in the parameters of that URL. Otherwise we will catch our error. So I simply save that. If I go back to my Google Chrome browser and reload that page, and also if I just open this email and click on it, you can see that I open my new password basically form, that you can see the link reset slash this giant token. Okay, so you can see that this token is very big. You can make it small if you would pass a value something like smaller here. Basically I have passed here, we have passed here 30, which is too much long. I think 20 is enough. Okay, so now this function is also working. Now we have to handle the post request for this button. When I click on the change password, I have to change the password in the database, and also I have to send an email back to the user, your password has been changed successfully. Okay, so we will do that in our next video, and in our next video we will complete this basically process. So I will see you in the next video. Welcome back to this course. So today in this video we are going to move on and complete our forgot password functionality. Now we know that we have sent the email with the token. We have, when user click on that link, we open our new password form. Now we have to handle that form when user clicks on that basically button. If I click on this link, if user click on this change password button, then we have to save that password update that password in the database for that user, and also we have to send email back to the client to say that your password has been successfully changed. Okay, so let's do that. First of all, we know that in this we have post request to this link. Okay, so I create a post request under this. Okay, so this is also a giant function, so you have to pay attention on this. So router.post, and the URL is like reset slash token request response, and again I'm going to use async dot waterfall function that basically takes array of functions, and in here I type error, and I simply type here res dot redirect to slash login. Okay, and now in this waterfall function we have to provide array of methods. The first method should be that will find that user with that token. Okay, so I simply type here the arrow function that basically find the user dot find one by the token. So I simply copy that from the top which you have passed. right here, this one. So we have to make sure that this is basically true, that our token is valid, and also the expiry time is also valid. Okay, so find the user with this token and also check the expiry time, and then we have that user, and we have to make sure that if the user does not exist. Okay, so I go back and simply copy that piece of code again, this one, and scroll down and paste that right here. Okay, password reset token is invalid or has been expired, and after that I simply have to type, and before anything, first of all, we have to check that our password in both fields are same. Okay, so for that I simply type here if request dot body dot password is not equal to request dot body dot confirm password. Make sure that is confirm password. Simply copy that from here and paste it here like this. So first of all, if request.body.password is not equal to request.body.confirm password, then this means we have to throw an error. So I simply copy these lines from here, paste here, and change that, says password don't match. I change it to double quotations so that I can use single quotation here, and also I have to change it to double like this. Okay, and I have to redirect back to forgot, and we have to also return that. Okay, and if it is not same, we have to throw an error, but if the passwords are same, then we have to set the password. So I will use a method called user.setPassword. Okay, so I will set the password and pass the password in that is request.body.password, and then a callback. Okay, so we have just set up the password for that user, and now we have to make sure that we have to make the reset password token and reset password expiry time to undefined, because now the user has basically changed its password. Now we have to clear out its field of basically expiry time and token. So for that I simply type here user dot reset password token, and make sure I have to type here undefined, and also we have to user dot reset password expires to undefined. Okay, what does this mean? That we saved the password token and also we have saved the expiry time in database for that user. Okay, now if the user has changed the password successfully, now we have to make sure that we simply make those two fields in the database undefined so that user cannot change that password again with that token. Okay, this token is only valid for one time. Okay, so that's why we have to change it to undefined. After that we also have to save the user, so I simply type here user.save, and I pass a callback here, and simply type here request.login user error, and I just called it done here, that is error, and user, and make sure that you have done at the top of the function parameter right here like that. Okay, and just after this, then you have to make sure that you put your catch block. So after that I simply type here dot catch, and I simply type here error. Make sure that you remove this semicolon, and I simply type here the request.flash error message that would say error. concatenate that error and simply res.redirect to forgot. Okay, and that's it for this function. Now let's create a second function that will send email back to the user to say that your password has been successfully changed. Okay, so I simply type here first of all the user, and then we have to again type here let smtp transport equals to nodemailer.create transport, and we have to pass in an object here that says service, which is Gmail. Then we have to pass the auth, in which we have to pass the user, which is process.n.the Gmail email, and the pass, which is process.n.gmail password. Okay, and after that we have to create the mail options. So I simply type here let mail options equals to, first of all, to we have to send to user.email, and we have to send from, I again type here, you can type anything here and just type here the email address, and after that we have to type here the subject, which says that your password is changed. After that the text, and I will say that hello. Then I will concatenate here user.name, and after that I will move to the new line. So I simply /n from here. I will say that hello, the username, and then I will type here this is the this is the confirmation email, sorry, this is confirmation that the password for your account has been changed. Okay, I think we have to concatenate an email here. That would be a better idea. So I just type this, and I type here the user.email. Okay, so the password has been changed for this email, and after that we have to simply send this email. So I simply type here smtp transport dot send email to with this mail options, and after here callback and simple request dot flash message, that will be success message that will says that your password has been changed successfully, like that. And we will redirect res.redirect to /login. That's it, we are done. So basically we send a post request to this URL that will first of all use this function, first function that will find the user with that token. If that user doesn't exist, we simply send a message back that password reset token is invalid or has been expired. Okay, And after that we check in this line that the both fields of passwords has that same text in that. And after that we have to basically set the password database in here, and you have to make sure that you set the password token and the expiry time variable in that database for that user to undefined, because the user has changed its password and it is changed, and now he has no longer access to that token. Okay, so make sure that you make it undefined there. And after that we have to send an email back to user to say that your password has been changed. Okay, so simple, we have created this SMTP variable and use this create transfer method and pass those basically objects in that. After that the mail options, and simply send that email with these mail options. Simple as that. Okay, so now it's time to test that. So I simply save all the things from here. I go back to my browser. I simply go back and delete this email. Okay, I simply go back to my /login. So first of all, I can log in. Definitely I have my password. For example, I forgot my password. I simply click on this forgot password. If I type here the wrong email like this, then I will be notified that user does not exist with this email. Okay, now I type this correct password email, then I send email send with further instructions, please check that. Okay, so email has been sent successfully. If I go back to my Gmail inbox, you can see that recovery email from auth project. If I click on that, I have this link in here. If I click on this one, and now you can see that the token is quite small, because in our previous basically video we have set it to 30, which is a huge number for that byte here. So 20 is, I think, so good number for generating token. Okay, so we have moved toward this page. Now if I type here my password, if I type here 1 2 3 4 5 6 and 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, now password is not same. If I click on change password, you will see we are moved directly toward this /forgot and says that password don't match. Okay, so we have to type the same password. I click on here and type here 1 2 3 4 5 6 and 1 2 3 4 5 6. If I click on change password, and you will see that your password has been successfully changed. Okay, now if I log in with my previous basically password, which is basically, I think so, is my name, like that. If I click on login, you can see that invalid email or password, try again. Now let's enter new password 1 2 3 4 5 6. Now if I click on login, our forgot password functionality is properly working here. Okay, so I hope that you understand what we have done in previous 3 videos to set up the basically recovery password settings. I hope that you understand that. And now one thing is remaining, that we have to also set functionality to change password. If user want to change its password by its own, then we also have to provide that functionality. So we are going to do that in our next video. Okay, so welcome back to this course. So today in this video we are going to set up functionality for our change password button. If I go back and log in, you can see that I have a option here that says change password. I have to change my password if I wanted to do. Okay, so for that I simply go back to my Visual Studio Code, and I will simply close all these first of all and create a new EJS file with the name new or change password.ejs, and in it first of all I am going to include my partials. So just copy that from there, header, then the footer, then I go back to my Sublime where I have a markup, and I simply cut that from here and go back. Also I have a div here, so simply cut that from here, go back to here and simply paste that in here and click on this format document like that. Okay, and I have 2 fields here, password, confirm password, and a button that says change password. Simply save that, go back to here and create a get route for that. I simply move down and just create a get route for it. So route.get /password/change. Okay, and after that I type here request response, and we have to just simply res dot render the slash change password, like that. If I simply save that and I go to the basically header.ejs in views, in routes, views and partials, and then header.js, and I simply add here slash password slash change. Okay, so I simply go back and I just reload it, log in. Now if you click on the change password, you can see that beautiful form here that says that change password. Okay, so let's add some functionality to this button by adding a post request. So I simply go back and go to this change password, and it sends the post request to slash password slash change. Okay, so at the end here I simply add a post request that says router dot post. I type here slash password slash change, and also put a slash here, like that, and a callback here request response. And I simply first of all check that if both the fields has same password. So I simply type here if request dot body dot password is not equal to request dot body dot confirm password, then we have to simply flash a message which is basically error message that says that, in double quotations, because I have to use single quotation and don't, so password don't match, type again, like this. Okay, and after that I have to redirect res dot redirect to slash password slash change, like this. Okay, and if it is correct, if the both fields have same password, then I have to update simply in the database. So first of all I find the user by typing here user dot find one, and I have to pass the email, and I pass here request dot user dot email, find the user with this email, and then user we have to simply type here user dot set password and type that password in this. So request dot body dot password, and after that a callback, and in this first of all I have to save that user, and if it is saved, then I will simply then I simply flash a message that says password change successfully, and res dot redirect to slash dashboard. Also we have to write here error message, like that. Okay, and catch, let's type here error, and I simply type here request dot flash error message, and the error I just concatenate here the error, and res.redirect to /password/change. Okay, so we have just set up our route for change password, and I hope that it will work fine for us. Okay, so let's check it out. Simply save that, go back to my browser, reload that, and click on logout and login again. Change password, I type here some gibberish and click on change password. You will see nothing here, so we have to go back and we have to add here messages. Okay, so I go back here and so this is error message. We forgot to put s here. If I go back, save that, and now if I go back to my here, I'll log in first. Okay, so if I go back and see, okay, so what happened here is when I check it, we know that we enter some gibberish content in the both of the fields, and if that password is not met, we have to return from that. We don't have to move after that. Okay, so we always have to type here return, because we don't want to move on if the password is not correct. So we have to also type here return. Okay, so I simply save that, and now we have just enter some gibberish password. We have to forget that password, and then we have to recover that. So I simply send the email, go back, and I got a new email from here, this one, and I type here 123456 and 123456 and change password, and now I can log in. Okay, so you can see password, this email, hello Ghulam Abbas, this is the confirmation that your password for account this has been changed. Okay, so it is working. So now we are logged in. Now I want to change the password. I click on change password and type here some gibberish again. If I click on the change password, you can see that password don't match, type again. Now I type here like 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 and 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Now if I click on change password, password changed successfully, and it is red. We have to change it to green. So password changed successfully. This is the success message, like that. Okay, so our password has been changed. Now if I click on logout and log in again, you can see that invalid email or password. Now I have to type here 7812345678, and now if I click on login, and now I am logged in again. Okay, so our change password functionality is also working. Now one more thing, if I just logged out and click on here /password/change, you can see that I'm going to still access that page. I have to make it protected, so I go back and go to this route. I have to make sure that user is authenticated, so I simply copy that from here, and also we have to type here, because logout functionality should be available to authenticated users, and same for the password change, like this. Simply save that, and now if I just reload it, I will go back and you can see the message, please log in first to access this page. Log in, now I can access this page. If I log out and I type here /password has changed, you can see that please log in first to access this page. Okay, so we have added all the functionality to our project, and I hope that you understand what we have done in this project. Simple, we have used the passport module or password package that will help us to apply the authentication. Then we have used this forgot password functionality. Then we have added the change password functionality. We have covered about all the topics of authentications like sign up, login, forgot password, and change the password. These are the 4 major functionalities of authentication, and I hope that you understand all of them. Make sure that you make this project by your own and make your authentication more powerful. Okay, so I will see you in the next section.